Hey, you're watching Every Day But Sunny. Thank you so much for watching. First and foremost, I have to give a shout out to my subscribers. I may not have the most, but I most certainly have the best. Well, today I'm going to show you the cheapest Motovlog setup with decent quality. It's cheaper than the OmniNoob. It's cheaper than More Bad Ideas. It's pretty much cheaper than almost any other YouTuber, motovlogger that I've seen for a setup. Plus, I'm going to show you how to instantly have better audio absolutely free. So there's a reason that I have this helmet on and that's because I'm going to show you how to put the audio in to your helmet. For most of you, it's going to be pretty much free. For some of you guys, it might cost you like $10 to $20 extra on top of what I was saying. So the total setup, the total cost for this should be like $70. For some of you guys, it's going to be $70, that's it. For others, it's going to be around $80 to $90, depending on if you have an Android phone or if you have an iPhone, and what model iPhone you have. But I'm going to show you how to handle any and all of those situations. If you have the newer iPhone, if you have the older iPhone, if you have an Android phone, as long as you have a cell phone, you're pretty good. It's not going to be any more than $90. And I'll leave links to everything I'm talking about in the description below. So the first thing, obviously, you're going to need is a camera. Maybe not this camera because there's no image stabilization, and if you know anything about motovlogging, you might want something with a little bit of image stabilization. So we're not going to use this quite yet, okay? We'll be using an action cam that I guys showed you earlier. It's the Eken H9. Mine's older, so it records 4K at about 15 frames per second, which for me is mostly useless. I think there's a couple scenarios where that would be kind of cool, but for the most part, I don't really use that. But the newer versions have 4K at 25 frames per second, which is not completely useless. And also, they have 1080 at 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. I gave a slight review of the Eken H9. I went into it a little bit in my best camera for you video, which I'll leave a link for in the description below. If you want something that's a little bit better camera, there's the GoPro Hero Session, which I would recommend getting a case for. I put a link for that in the description below for the video and also for the case for it. You don't have to get the case. It's your life. You can live dangerously. I mean, I'm wearing a helmet because that's how dangerous we are over here, right on this channel. If you want it, I'll put in the link in the description and below. I personally don't like using the Eken H9 for pretty much anything where the camera's facing forward because it loses a lot of quality very quickly looking forward. So what I would do is I would point it facing me, and it's perfectly fine. If you've ever used one of these cameras and mounted them someplace, they kind of have this wind noise issue. So the camera is the easy part. The difficult part is the audio. Is going to go wired underneath my chin blocker here. You're going to want one of these chin blocks to keep some of the wind out. And inside of there, I've clipped it inside of this windscreen. Now see, my windscreen's connected to a cable that I've wired to this Bluetooth communicator right here, but you can do the same thing with just some foam and one of the bread ties. And you can get that foam at a Hobby Lobby, or you can find some foam around your house. Just stick it in there, and I used a clip to clip it to the communicator, but you can use a bread tie. And so I take this headphone jack and I plug that in to my phone, and what that does is that allows me to, you can use like pretty much any recording app, and I use the Pro Voice Recorder. I'll show you what that looks like. Pro Voice Recorder, it opens up pretty quickly. There's lots of different options in here, so you can get a little bit more specific. You can adjust the pickup level of the microphone and everything like that before you even write off. If you're like me and you scream like a retarded person, then you might want to adjust your audio boost levels for that and your microphone positioning inside of your helmet. You know, basically hit record, but you have to kind of sync your audio and your video, because you're not going to go to edit and then know when your audio and video are matching, because they're on two separate devices, right? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to use something that would create a peak in your audio. Like some people do. That's why you see the take one action. They're syncing the video and the audio. You can use a clap. I find if you're on a motorcycle, you can use a horn. I just press the horn and sync like that. I do it with pretty much every single one of my videos. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, what is the advantage to doing this besides like just plugging into a camera with a mic input? Okay, so basically what it allows me to do is it allows me to kind of walk around in and out of the frame wherever I want to go. I can work on a motorcycle. I can do whatever. And you're going to record to your phone directly, and that's going to give you separate audio. Now, you're saying to me, Sunday, this sounds completely awesome. I love this idea. I just have one problem. I don't have an iPhone, or my iPhone doesn't have the jack like to do that. I can't do that. You know, they made the new one. So what you can do about this, if you have an Android phone, you can buy the earbuds. I used it with like an HTC phone. It's an older phone, but it was HTC is Android, and I recorded fine. It was perfectly okay. If you have the newer iPhone, well, you're running into a different problem where you need one of those adapters, and the adapter is going to go, just so we're on the same page, it's going to go right down there where that bad boy is. Then you can hook in your earplugs with the microphone on it. You probably cut off the earplugs, or you could keep them. I mean, they're kind of more of a hassle with them on. So you have your audio recorded, you have your video recorded. Now you need one other thing. That one other thing is going to be, you got to sync it with one final step, which is we got to go to the software editor. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your editing software. I use Adobe Premiere, so that's what I use, but there's also like Headphone and stuff. So you could use whatever. Headphone's free, so you could basically use whatever software works best for you. I just happen to use this one because I'm used to it. I'm used to Adobe software and it just works best for me. Okay, so we're in the Adobe Premiere and I got 2 clips here. This is an MP4 clip, but it's just audio. For whatever reason, the way that my iPhone works, it has to save it as a video file, an MP4 file. So we're just gonna drag the audio onto here, and I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, and then we're gonna bring the video clip, which will also have audio as well, right here. Okay, so here we have the audio. Now I like to mute one and find where the horn is. So I zoom in, and you can make this clip bigger, which I'm going to do so I can see what I'm looking at. So this is the audio file right here, audio file there, and then this is the video file, which they're synced, so I don't need to see the video. Horn comes in. Okay, so right there is where my horn is. You can like set a marker here. I generally just note to myself at 3:01:29-ish is where this is, and so then I will mute this, and then I'll leave this unmuted so that I can listen to the audio track that's with the video. So there's the honk right there, and that's at 4:44. So basically I just try to line up the 2 dots. When you do it this way, you can physically see how to line it up. So I can see here about there is gonna be good. So I'll play it, and you didn't even notice like really hardly any echo or anything. So alright, let's try to get this going before and that sounded like one audio almost, so I'm pretty happy with that. To keep it in place, I group them, and this makes sure that, you know, whichever way this moves too, so they stay synced. And your audio editor may call it something else, but basically you can link them together so that no matter what you do, now your audio and your video is synced. So now you can have clear audio with your video, and it sounds I won't say it sounds like professionalist grade, like you probably need a more expensive microphone, but for what it is, it sounds pretty good. This week's subscriber of the week goes to Moto Mario CA. He's got a pretty cool channel with Motovlogs and some, looks like, go-kart vlogs and some go-kart fun. If you'd like to be the subscriber of the week, all you have to do is go to my channel, subscribe with that red box, and don't forget to press that alarm bell so that you're notified of when the videos are uploaded. As soon as you do that, you're in the run for the subscriber of the week. So I hope this tutorial helped you a lot. It's exactly how I do my motovlogs. This is a way that you can instantly get better audio for free, and it's one of the cheapest motovlogging setups I've seen. Cheaper than all the other ones. And of course you can upgrade as money allows, but this will just get you started and get you going. Thank you so much for watching Everyday But Sunday. I will see you in the next video.